It's showtime.
Welcome to Show Me Some Television, the segment where I get to talk television and binge watch thanks to Roger's Show Me service, which I'm getting for free because I don't know that I'd pay for it. But hey, free? I like free. In this segment, I'm going to talk about Helix Season 2. I've already talked about Season 1, which I actually quite enjoyed, at least until we started getting to the end. But from the beginning through most of it, I really enjoyed it. So, what about Season 2? Well, Season 2 kind of continues on from where Season 1 sort of left off. There's a little bit of a jump here and there. There are a lot of returning characters and actors to Season 2 that were in Season 1, but in kind of different roles. Still the same characters and still, same role technically, but they're very different here. The end of Season 1 really, and how they sort of ended off, is sort of where they move forward from that point on. Some people are essentially the same, but a lot of them have a very drastic change in terms of their character, personalities and such. So if you really enjoyed the beginning part of Helix Season 1 like I did, and the end part of Season 2, or the end part of Season 1, leading into Season 2 was not quite your cup of tea, well, you may find Season 2 is not up to snuff. It's really different in terms of feel, style, where it's going. It has a very, honestly, I had a Lost vibe, like the television series Lost. I had that kind of a vibe coming off of Season 2. Not only because they're sort of, they're following a new disease, new virus thing now, which leads them to a isolated island. It's not deserted, it's not unknown, it's just sort of, you don't take vacations there, let's just say that. And so, I mean, the island portion obviously connects to Lost, but just sort of other stuff where they were doing, because in this second season, there's a future and a past present, the timeline that continues on from Season 1. And so, there's this jumping from, one's timeline to the other timeline, and it's bridged by some interesting sequences where they sort of time lapse using CG and stuff, buildings crumbling and plants growing and all this kind of stuff to show the time, and then they have a time ticker, so that you're going into the future or going into the past or whatever, right? And that was kind of cool at first, but you kind of get tired of it after a while. And honestly, the whole future portion of it really wasn't necessary. There is no Season 3 to Helix, and I kind of get the idea that the makers knew that they weren't going to be able to make it past Season 2, so this future portion of it was an attempt from them to help wrap up the storyline that was taking place over the 2 seasons, and they do. I will admit, I mean, it does end where you could technically have a Season 3, but it's also ends on a note where it feels complete. It does feel like a complete series, and that was nice. I enjoyed that about it. I don't know. While Season 1 came across as being it was horrific. It was scary. Season 2 doesn't come across that way. It's revolves around, like I said, a new disease on an island. There's a cult on this island, and CDC members are getting involved, coming to this island, dealing with this cult. So while it is about this disease. The disease isn't exactly scary here. It does have some moments, but mostly this is about the cult and dealing with them. With they're on a compound, and essentially the disease is outside of the compound, and every once in a while you get little outbreaks or influxes of the disease into this compound. So it's mostly about dealing with this cult in the compound, and such for a good portion of it. Then, of course, because it is a cult and there are some power struggles going on, the power struggles eventually lead to breakdowns in communication, structure, the cult in general, and you play out that drama, and of course you involve the diseases and viruses and such, and things just they go to crapper. They go in the crapper. It's nothing really goes well for anybody, but oddly enough, it's so funny because there are things that happen in this series where you're like, people are jumping and moving and going places for no complete reason. You would have one scene where people, we've got to come up with a cure. We got to come up with your cure. I'm in the lab. Blah blah blah. I'm trying to figure out compound of XYZ, right? And then the next scene is that person just walking around in something, and it's just because I felt the need. I just wanted to go talk to you, and it's like, what? You were just in the lab a second ago going on about how you needed to hunker down and solve this problem, and then the next scene you're walking around and you're in a completely different area, and it's just, or even two scenes later. Either way, it's there's no reason for people to be moving from where they are, but yet they do move from where they are, and it's to further these other plot lines, which they really needed to come up with better ways to do it, or just have done it at another time, because it made no sense for these people who are set on trying to come up with this cure and who are essentially shouldn't be leaving a lab because they really need to hunker down, unless it's to go get more stuff. Now, when they have to leave the lab to go get something, whatever. Oh, we need a sample of this. That makes sense. You leave it. But you go to the sample. You don't go off and go, I'm going to go, no, I think I'm going to go left down here because that person, I want to talk to that person down there. Why? Because I feel like it. My emotions are drawing me to do that. And it's just like, no. There's some serious problems with dedication to their jobs and what they need to do in this series. I'm telling you. Like, come on, you're trying. People are gonna. It's the end of the world. This isn't like, oh my gosh, somebody's got the measles. If I don't come up with the cure, then they may get other people sick and they'll get more measles, and there is a chance that somebody might die. No, these people are dealing with a virus that will essentially, mean the end of the world, and they feel the need to just sort of wander off and not deal with it, and go talk to somebody and tell them their feelings and the things that people are worried about in this particular season really kind of irked me. People worried about a kid or a child or a loved one, or a relationship rekindled or not rekindled, or whatever. And it's fine to have these type of moments where people are dealing with relationships and family matters and such, but at no point should anybody be leaving their duties and feeling the need to go talk about something when the entire world is at stake. I'm just saying, like, that's my opinion, but I'd fire you if I knew how poorly you were at your job. You may be smart, but smarts only get you so far. If you can't actually sit down and do the work, what good is you being smart if you're constantly sitting there going, I have the answer to this, but before I give that answer and give it to everybody else, I'm going to go over there and cry. Because I feel unloved. Yeah, no. Nope. Sorry. Doesn't work with me, does not fly, and it bugged me. Bug me how often that kind of stuff would happen in this season. So yeah, Helix season 2 was even further down on my list of enjoyability than the end of season 1. Luckily season 1 had a great opening and great start and great middle, so it made me want to finish season 1 and then continue into season 2. But after season 2, I'm almost glad there's no season 3. Though I do really like viruses and sci-fi and and diseases and such, so I'm also kind of disappointed. Just saying. Yeah, there was so much they could have done with Helix, but I don't think they really ever knew what they were doing. I don't think they had a clear direction in terms of what they wanted to, the story they wanted to tell, and unfortunately it kind of shows. So yeah, if you enjoy viruses and all that kind of stuff and you like horror, check out season 1 of Helix, and if you dig that, might as well watch season 2. That's all I can say. Season 2 is not really worth watching on its own. You can't really... Well, yeah, I guess you could watch it on its own without seeing season 1, but why would you want to? Because season 1's the better one. But, yeah, just kind of disappointed. Oh, well. They can't all live up to me and my seal of approval. But they should. Anyways, thanks for watching this segment of Show Me Some Television Helix Season 2. Till next time, take care. Have a good one.